I could stay like this, forever following you. Just don't get too far, and I'll be right where you are. You're a dream that I could finally see. I just want us to always be, to always be.
Good morning and welcome to SEN Stream. This morning we take a look at the week ahead. Mike gets his privacy settings correct by not hitting the private button. Week 3 rolls in and we look at what is coming up in week 3. We take a quick revisit of the APN formative assessment. We also get an update on the supervisor allocations looking ahead to our projects. We have a look at a couple of tweets of the weeks. We also take questions and provide some answers in the chat. Guys, it's nice to see you out there. Stay tuned to find out more. Guys, you join me in this brand new facility. I got in touch with Peter Bonfield, Dr. Peter Bonfield, Vice Chancellor of the University of Westminster, and I said, Peter, we've got 26 enrolled students on our course who are just smashing it. They're doing a great job. And I said to him, we need a purpose-built facility for this. We need them to feel special. We need them to feel welcome. And I said, I need 10 million minimum for this exclusive facility that you see here. And I got it. Here we are. This is the SEN Stream changing rooms. It's not gender specific, which raises some concerns, but that's fine. But we can see here, we've got our list of attendees, our list of enrolled students on the 2018-2019 edition of the course. And it's fantastic. No expense spared, a locker each for all of our members. What a great time. And I'm hoping to use the lockers and the changing rooms for motivational speeches moving forward through this, what could be a tumultuous 2019. If you haven't seen your name on the board, look closely, it's definitely there. And we can see behind me just here, these are some of our alumni lockers, the guys that went on and did some great things. You get a special badge and you get your own special locker. So welcome to the SEN Stream changing rooms. I hope you find your locker and I hope you get ready for the semester to continue ahead. Now, lest we not forget about the natural environment of the sport and exercise nutrition student, the library. We can see here our man from semester 1 hasn't moved. He's still reading, he's still absorbing, he's still adding to his knowledge. And that's what I expect you guys to be doing right now with regards to your projects, your ideas moving ahead. Getting in the library, getting stuck into the literature and really getting involved with your projects. There's at least 26 chairs in the library, one for each member of the Sport and Exercise Nutrition course. So get in the library, get into the literature and start getting involved. Guys, welcome to episode 15 of the SEN Stream. What do you think of the new facilities, folks? I no expense spared. I'd said 10 million minimum to Peter, and he put it down And here we are. Now, I kind of got sign off from it. I mean, hope he's all right with it, but never mind. Welcome to episode 15. Like I say, we're going to have the usual module updates as we look ahead to week 3. What do you expect in each of the modules as we move ahead into this, week 3 of 12. We've got some tweet of the weeks. We've also got some updates. I've got some apologies to make with regards to SEN Salad Wednesdays, but we'll get there when we get there. Again, I've got the chat open, so good morning to the folks who have already said hello. So we've got Ted, good morning, Dakota, Magdalena, Chloe, Karis, Harry, Dana, and we've also got Vicky joining us possibly from work once again. So guys, good morning, welcome to the stream. It's great to have you involved, and I'm glad we got the privacy settings sorted out this morning. So without further ado then, let's get stuck into the module updates looking ahead. Now, as always, folks, if you have any questions, concerns, or queries, please do ask them in the chat. They will pop up on the screen. I've got them all in front of me as well. And we should be good to go from there. But let's have a look. We're going to start with advanced performance nutrition as it's my module and it's the first thing that you guys will see next week. So let's get stuck into it. So as I promised during the Tuesday session this week, I'm going to take the opportunity to record those last sort of 10, 15-ish slides just after SenStream today. I'll use the facilities that we've got in front of us now, which makes it decent quality, and just make sure that everyone is up to speed. So some of the feedback you guys gave was that it was a bit rushed. So hopefully this extra sort of 20-minute session that you'll get on Panopto just helps sort of get the content across to you guys so that you've actually got an opportunity to absorb it moving forwards. So in addition, I'm also going to release the formative assessment this afternoon as well. So what we'll do is I'll put the formative assessment on. You guys can take the opportunity to read the guidelines and the instructions moving ahead. And on Tuesday, if you've got any questions at the start about the formative assessment, then please just ask them when I'm present in the room, and then we can all go from there. So not to stress out with a formative assessment, for the part-time year 2 students who are watching this, who did advanced performance nutrition last year, yeah, they're doing a formative assessment, guys, and you guys missed out because you had it all tough towards the end of semester 2 of your first year. So apologies for that. Looking ahead to the session that we're going to do, though, it's going to be on carbohydrate feeding. As we know, as some of you might know anyway, my expertise and sort of specialism is in carbohydrate ingestion during exercise. So I'm going to take the opportunity to talk to you about the relationship between carbohydrate consumption and subsequent exercise performance. And carbohydrate is just one of those, it's one of those parts of exercise nutrition where there is a very large and strong body of evidence to indicate that it does work in terms of as an ergogenic aid for enhancing and improving people's performance. So, but what we don't know so much about carbohydrate is what works for most people and what works for different types of people. Males, females, untrained, trained, durations of exercise, the amount that you consume, the type that you consume, the form that it's in, and also considering some of the limitations of the modalities of exercise. So with a bike, for example, you can strap a bunch of feeding or nutrition products to it. So you can have bottles, you can have gels, you can have little packs on the back. Running, not so much. So can we start to look at carbohydrate feeding a little bit more with a bit more of a critical eye and a bit more of a look at what the literature is telling us and how we can then subsequently apply that in real world terms moving forward. Now, again, the slides are already available, but I will be taking an opportunity on Monday next week just to update those slides a little bit, because it doesn't include some of the new delayed release stuff which has come out this year, which obviously I know some of you are quite keen to work on me on that project for your dissertation project. So it would probably worth just updating those slides to make sure that we're all right up to date into 2019 moving forward. So that's what to expect next week on advanced performance nutrition. Again, check out Panopto moving forwards. And if you've got any questions with regards to the formative assessment, then please do not hesitate to get in touch with me at the start of next week's session. Okay, moving it on. Now, nutritional assessment, as always, Claire has come in and taken my head off with regards to updates to the module itself. Sorry, I'm just checking something. Here we go. No worries. Excellent. So, next week, On the 6th of February, you have Dr. Justin Haroon coming in, who's going to be talking to you a little bit about psychometric screening methods in nutritional assessment. So again, Claire has emphasized here that it's an interactive session, which will require you to get involved, answer some questionnaires, and can kind of consider your own nutritional assessment from your own perspective. Now, a little bit about Justin. Justin works for the Centre for Resilience, which is a sub-centre within the university itself. They do an excellent job at bringing in external money and having a funded research program alongside some of the existing kind of taught programs and research programs within university. Now, I put a link down here if you're interested. We might even have a quick look at that since my computer seems to be behaving today. So we'll have a look at that in a second. But essentially, the work that the Centre for Resilience does is just kind of recognise the importance that the role that general health and well-being can play in ensuring overall health. Now, obviously, nutritional choices, exercise choices, inherent physical activity levels all have an impact on those different things. So that's why Justin is going to come in and talk to you about this kind of psychometric screening methods for nutritional assessment, or in nutritional assessment, so that you can head along. Again, coming at it with a hugely pragmatic approach, as it's the stuff that the Centre for Resilience is doing for businesses, companies, organizations, and individuals already. So a really nice session to get involved with. So again, it takes a lot of time and effort to get these sessions together, so make sure you attend. This is the type of session that's not going to be appropriate for Panopto. I don't know what Claire's doing on the Panopto front, but if you're going to rely on that, I probably wouldn't for this session, looking ahead. So again, any questions, queries, give us a shout. I'll try and answer them now. If not, I can always pass them on to Claire as we move ahead. Now, moving it on to, I believe, assessment, health and fitness. Now, last week you guys had the opportunity, I say last week, yesterday, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had an opportunity to do some blood sampling via finger prick blood sampling methodology. Now, I've sort of speaking to a few of you in regards to research projects and such like that you might be interested in doing. And finger prick blood sampling kind of gives you this nice opportunity to get some insight as to the sort of circulating metabolites within the body, without having to use full-blown needles, without having a member of staff needing to be there to do that for you. And therefore represents a nice opportunity to try and test these some of the things. So some of the conversations I'd had with some students is looking at maybe blood glucose changes following a particular intervention over time. You could just do a simple finger prick blood sample. You can look at the glucose concentration and the lactate as well if you use the YSI. There are other pieces of kit available to do finger prick blood sample analysis. So we've got a ketone meter. We've also got some meters that look at hemoglobin status and general blood parameters such as that. There's also, I believe you'll be doing some fatty acids analysis with it as well, looking at various HDL, LDL stuff too. So represents a nice opportunity for you guys to actually look at some changes in metabolites, blood metabolites, with a particular intervention. So looking ahead to next week, next Thursday, you guys will be undertaking a VO2 max test and a lactate threshold test. Now, Jane's reliably informed me here that you already have a volunteer for undertaking that data collection, which is excellent. And the final thing to note on assessment of health and fitness is the fact that we have Avoni, who is a current, I think she's second or third year PhD student within the School of Life Sciences. Her primary supervisor is Dr. Bradley Elliott. An internal advisor is me, which is terrifying. But I believe Avoni is going to be offering some sessions for you guys to go and have a chat with her with regards to the some of the physiological assessments that you're going to do on assessment, health and fitness. So Avoni's PhD so far has been exceptionally applied. So she's looking at muscle damage protocols. She's been doing VO2 max, lactate threshold, downhill running, blood sampling, lots of different sort of really pragmatic hands-on physiological assessments. So she's got a wealth of experience that you guys can dwell on. She also has a hell of a lot more time than we do. So as you have a lot more freedom as a PhD student, which is the way it's supposed to be. So basically, you can book out Avoni for a session to get involved with her. Just to find out and just get a little bit more insight as to how some of these assessments work. So I put her email address down here. However, I do believe this will be available to you on the Blackboard site. So if you're kind of scrambling around for a pen or just do a screenshot, whatever, then you can get in touch with her via that. So do make use of that. It'll be a good opportunity for you to get exposed to a new member of staff, and also to try and get some of her insight, her experience and wisdom moving forward, so you can think about how it might apply to your projects ahead of the week. So let's move it on. Excuse me. Research methods for health sciences too. So first of all, and my apologies, because I majorly messed up on the timetable, as I'd indicated that I was available for this Wednesday, when in actual fact I wasn't. I had a medical appointment to attend. So apologies for that, but you will have the ethics session with me at 10 a.m. next Monday. We kind of look at, well, why do we have research ethics? What does that mean? How does that refer to me? What are the implications of research ethics for me on my research project? As some people, again, we've got quite a varied background for people on the course, and as such, you may not have had the opportunity to do any formal experiments with people, but there are some ethical considerations that we need to put some context to as to why those things are, why did they come about, and how does that keep our research participants safe moving forward in your research trials. So again, it has the potential to be quite dull and boring. However, I do try and give it real world context. I do try and make it applicable to how it impacts you, and some of the considerations you'll need to have moving forward. So don't think it's going to be dull. I'll try and keep it upbeat. There is some pretty dark stuff in there, but unfortunately, I can't rewrite history. So moving ahead and looking what else is going on. The staff currently are discussing and just getting a little bit of consensus on the dissertation guideline document. Now, it's been circulated, and we're having a bit of a chat about that next Tuesday. But the dissertation guideline document will be made available to you guys as of next week. And this is quite a detailed document which states exactly what your dissertation will look like. So you can consider it as being a very important document moving ahead, because it basically dictates everything that you would need to do for your dissertation. So format, size, font size, what headings, word counts, submission dates, the whole works is in there. So consider it as like a little, go-to resource, which you can then extract the information out, which is most important to you. Again, so there's a little bit of reading on it. Now, I looked at the reading list on, and if someone in the chat can just let me know, because I'm not quite sure, but when I read the reading list on your timetable, it said Chapter 10, Ethical and Political Considerations. I'm assuming you guys know which text that refers to, because I only had a limited amount of time to actually determine that. But do let me know if you don't, and maybe we could start getting that added to the Blackboard site, because I was a bit like, oh, there's lots of chapter 10s and lots of textbooks across the world. So just let me know if someone knows which text it is. If you can pass it on, that would be great. I can let everyone know. If you don't, again, let me know and we can try and find out. So, Liza also took the opportunity this week to look through some research proposals, and you guys would have had the chance to review them, mark them, have a little look at what's going on. Hopefully you find that session useful. Liza has been very successful in her research career at bringing in some substantial amounts of cash, and as such, off the back of some pretty promising proposals that she's submitted. So she's a really good wealth of information with regards to how to write a decent research proposal. So again, you're getting it from the best guys, which is excellent news. Finally, not right now, because I think this is the last module I'm going to talk about, but a bit of a supervisor update. Most of you will now have been allocated to your supervisor. Now, you might be sat back going, I have no idea who that is. And that's correct, you won't. But on my spreadsheet that I've shared with various different members of staff, most of you have been allocated. We're just waiting for a couple more members of staff to come back to me just to confirm that the supervisor allocation is appropriate, and they're happy to move ahead with that. I know a few of you have emailed, a little bit hesitant as to where we're up to. Don't worry, it's one of my primary objectives at the moment, making sure that you guys have got supervisors looking ahead. Now, again, I've encouraged all of you to get in touch with supervisors you're interested in working with. I know the vast majority of you have. If you haven't, once you get your allocation, you can then start those conversations from that point onwards. So fear not if you haven't had the chance to do that. And well done if you did manage to have a chat with a potential supervisor. Okay, let's move it on.
Oh, we've got a tweet of the week here. Now, I've been a bit selfish. I'm just going to throw it out there because my social media presence has been pretty poor of late, and as such, I haven't been on Twitter very much because I just feel like I haven't really had very many positive things to say about life in general, as it were, because I've been trying to keep on top of stuff at home, as in the University of Westminster home. But I did put a tweet out today because we got some feedback for the advanced performance nutrition, and here it is. What didn't work, and how can we improve it? Please don't bang on the desk with the mouse because it's very loud through Panopto. Well, thanks for the feedback. I'm just so passionate. You know, I do think I mentioned this when I was actually doing Panopto because I saw that 3 of you were watching from home on Tuesday. But just my apologies. I'll try not to hold that. If I had a clicker, that would be ideal. But but I got some good social media engagement here from my standards anyway. 15 likes, of which I don't seem to be able to put a slide up at the moment without Josh's face being on it. So just wind your neck in, Josh. All right, just wind it in. I'm only kidding, obviously, but it's good to see. There was quite a few of you. I saw Alex like this morning as well. We got some alumni in here. We've got Lisa Wenninger, who's recently got a very nicely paid job, not in nutrition specifically, but her MSc definitely played a large role in getting that and securing that job. I've got to do a reference for her on Monday, so I've got to say some nice things. But yeah, I will stop banging the desk. Don't worry, guys. I'll do my best to just bear that in mind. I noticed a few of you have been watching from home with regards to advanced performance nutrition. There's some of you I haven't yet seen, which is concerning because you are supposed to be attending. So if I haven't seen you yet, let's hope to see you on Tuesday. Put it that way. Okay, an actual tweet of the week this time, rather than me faffing about with what I've been saying. So I came across this tweet, which I thought was quite interesting. So it was retweeted by Professor Graham Close from the Liverpool John Moores University, but it's from Timothy Caulfield at Caulfield Tim yesterday. Now, this is the ongoing debate with regards to whether breakfast pre-exercise is a good thing or a bad thing. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are not naive to that conversation, that you also have your views of your own. It'd be nice to see in the chat what people think, whether you should or shouldn't have breakfast. Throw your ideas out there. Maybe reflect on what you guys do and what has worked for you, but specifically in the context of weight loss. So whether you should wake up in the morning, have breakfast, and then do an exercise bout, or whether you should actually do fasted state exercise. And then what's its subsequent long-term effect on weight management? Now, this is a 2019 paper published in the British Medical Journal, BMJ. Effect on breakfast on weight and energy intake, a systematic review. So it's taken all the evidence that we've got so far with some strict inclusion criteria, and just seeing what other people have produced, what other people have reported with regards to this as an intervention. Now, Vicky Newbold has come in and given some thoughts here on the chat. So it depends on the goal of the exercise. Indeed. Now, specifically here, though, Vicky, it's in relation to weight loss, and that's what the outcome of the review is. But I do agree, if you're going to be doing fasted state, high-intensity exercise, is that the best model? I don't know. I mean, I haven't had a chance to read this paper yet. It was only tweeted out yesterday. But if anyone has the chance to read this, now I can see that's one viewpoint. There's 8 viewers. So again, don't be shy. Let us know what you think. Get involved. What do you think with regards to consuming breakfast for weight loss or weight management before exercise in the morning? And if you had a client sat in front of you, again, Vicky said, it depends on the goal of the exercise. I agree. But let me see what you guys think moving ahead. But if you're interested, just click on here. Sorry, I can click on here, but head across, or you can look up on the BMJ this month. If you looked up breakfast, weight management, energy intake, you'd probably find the paper. So head across and have a look from there. Okay, let's move it on. Okay, so a little bit of a step in a different direction. I haven't given you any extra training opportunities of late. Now, this is maybe something that's quite niche, but that's fine. But in an online world, that's fine. So This afternoon, I'm going to take the opportunity to go and do this because I feel like it would have some quality enhancement for the stream. But essentially, we've got a CPD, continued professional development opportunity here. Disaster. Let's go back. Sorry. Which is in relation to audio training. Now, if I could just... we've had a bit of disaster here, but I think if I just put this in... here we go. I'll pop it up on the screen for you guys to see. Now, this is Music Radio Creative. Now, I don't work for them. I don't receive any tips or any hints or anything like that. I'm not on commission. But I did come across this when I was setting up the stream last summer because I was very concerned about the audio quality. Now, they are hosting a free masterclass with regards to audio production, etc. So if you are thinking as part of your practice moving forward, or if you think ahead to your advanced performance nutrition assessment that you want the audio quality to be decent on that, which I think everyone should, then this is free. Starting at 2 o'clock today, I believe. Yeah, that seems about right. 2.5 hours time. And it will give you a little bit of insight as to the best methodology, techniques that you can use for recording audio. If you think a little bit more further in advance, if you're thinking of doing your own consultancy, or if you want to be able to communicate with a large body of people to get some of your ideas out into the public domain, then you can do that via a podcast, or you could do it via SenStream type setup. All of the software that I use is free. Granted, I have a studio here, which is provided by the university, but if I'm honest, if I just had a bit of green cloth, I could have done the stream from my house this morning, and I wouldn't have had to ride through 30 minutes worth of snow. But as Harry pointed out on the chat, a dedication to the effort, as it were. But anyway, check it out. If you're interested, want to find out more, head across to Music Radio Creative. You just put your email in, they'll send you a link, and they'll do it as a live broadcast on YouTube at 2 o'clock today. So check it out, get involved if you're interested. Now, looking ahead. Now, I've been a bit nailed recently, if I'm honest, and I didn't get the opportunity to put a room together for Sensile Wednesdays. Now, I'd just like to get some feedback in the chat as to whether you guys just stayed in the room from Research Methods for Health Sciences 2 before you then headed off into the next session in the afternoon, which I believe is nutritional assessment. But just let me know what you guys prefer. If you want to stay in the same room and that works, that's fine. But if you do want a specific room, let me know and I can get something booked. Again, I wasn't in on Wednesday, so again, if I was, I maybe should be able to put something together. But let me know in the chat what works for you guys looking ahead. But I am keen to keep this going. Some of the feedback we got from, I think it was in nutritional assessment, is that you guys actually appreciate the lunch break. So whether that's with your peers or whether that's, just getting out of the rooms and getting involved somewhere else, that's fine. But let me know what works. We'll get a room booked if you want it, or if you want to stay in Research Methods for Health Sciences too. Whatever, just let me know. Now, I think we're coming towards the end here. That's fine, yes. So let's head across to the chat. I've got my specific chat scene just to have a look. Now, obviously, just the opportunity for you guys to just ask any questions that you might have that's outstanding from the course. We had a lot of hellos and such like at the start, but it would be good to. Okay, right. So, thanks, Ted. We got kicked out of that room and we went next door. So perhaps a specific room could be of benefit moving forwards. Again, we can just give you the sign to stick on the door. Again, usually I'm in on a Wednesday. It's just this week was a bit of an exception with regards to not being in university. So any plans to run Isaac course this year? Yes, there is. Again, it's just one of those things that needs organising. So Josh, again, is here, ever present, omniscient. Has a ex-supervisor that is qualified level 2, I believe. I've got a contact at University of Stirling. She's a lecturer up there now, who offered to do it last year. We didn't pin a date down, but yes, I can certainly look into ensuring there's an Isaac course run. I know the part-time year 2 guys are very keen on having an Isaac course. It's just a case of getting it organised. So let me push ahead with that, and I'll come back to you with some data. What would be nice in the chat, guys, is if you could give me some indication as to what time of year that would be useful. whether it's in semester or whether it's in the summertime. I think the summertime is probably going to work better for most people. But do let me know what your preference is moving ahead. Dan has come in and said the room 2C C215 was taken during the break. Indeed, like again, it sounds like you guys need a room, so leave it with me, and I can get involved. Vicky's come in and said Chris Curtis, who came in for practitioner skills, can teach this Isaac too. Excellent. There's a good contact from Sanjoy there. I only met Chris just because I was just intrigued to see if he was as terrifying as his Twitter picture suggests, and he is. So, but exactly. Excellent. Well, gosh, you guys know more than I do. Why am I sat here? I tell you. So Chris said that he would notify Sanjoy when he's hosting any courses. I think the most important thing looking ahead is just to have a look at if we can get some decent rates, because I know the rates for Isaac courses tend to go up if they're in London, which I suspect if Chris is going to be hosting that in London, then that would be the case. If we can get someone in, and on our campus, then we can maybe start to look at a little bit more sensibly about rooms and therefore keep the price down. So leave it with me, and we've got a lot of options there. We can then take them forward. Okay, Ted. Blackboard says that we should have got our SPSS results today at 9 a.m, but they don't seem to be up. I've emailed Teddy, but do you know anything? I do. I did my own calculation for the 15-day turnaround. So if it says it's today, I don't think that's correct. I was under the impression that the results needed to be released on the 5th of February. And that was, again, an internal communication between staff was that it was the 5th is the best update that I can give you with regards to that. So what I will do is encourage Teddy to just, I'll speak with him today, see if we're on track for that Tuesday deadline. And then you guys could be informed from there. I wasn't aware that it was going to be today, if that's okay. If you've got any more insight on that, Ted, just let me know, and we can do something sensible about that. Vicky, prices range from £400 in London to £225 in Leeds. Yes, indeed. Thrifty Yorkshire folk are not going to pay £400 for an Isaac course. So again, I can't remember off the top of the head what we managed to get down to with regards to hosting it at Westminster, but I think what we would do is host the course here. Now, I believe they can only have a certain amount of people on the program, on the training course, with a certain amount of supervisors, as in people actually qualified to run the training course. But yeah, we will obviously give preference to Westminster students, and then if there's any remaining spaces, we could open up to the public. But yeah, I suspect it will be a course specific for you guys. But thanks for passing that on, Vicky. Good to know. We're definitely trying to avoid £400. Geez, that's a consideration. So excellent, guys. It's good. It's good to be back. It's good to be live. It's good to not be hiding behind a privacy button, which was very irritating last week, I have to say. And I hope everything's going all right. It's been a tricky few weeks for me in particular. We've had quite a few things outstanding in the background that have just had to be done, but hopefully that hasn't implicated you guys or you've noticed at all. And again, we're going to look ahead to supervisor allocation as soon as possible. I know that's preying on some of your minds, but rest assured we'll get there. If there's any other questions, I'm happy to take them. But other than that, I think we could good to call it a day. But do let me know. I'll hang around for a few more minutes and just have a little bit of a roundup of what to expect. So again, advanced performance nutrition, carbohydrate feeding with me. Hopefully you'll find it engaging and enjoying. If you can't attend, let me know. I can then put out the live stream and not bang my mouse on the desk, as it were. But thanks for the feedback. It's all tongue-in-cheek stuff. That's fine. Thinking ahead to nutritional assessment, you've got Justin Haroon. Super talented guy, knows what he's talking about with regards to Centre of the Resilience. Check out the website, internal website, if you're interested to find out more. Looking ahead to research methods, you've got me on an ethics session. Again, if you're not familiar with ethics, how it applies to research and how it's going to affect you on your research project, if you plan to recruit people, get along to the session and we'll try and make that a little bit more real for you. What else? Assessment of health and fitness, VO2 max lactate threshold assessments, always good practical hands-on stuff. you've got a volunteer doing it as well, so you guys can really get stuck into that session. Again, make sure you get a copy of the results so that you can start to plot out those figures and graphs after the session. I'd strongly recommend that, because it really helps you get your head into what is happening from a physiological perspective. And if you're not quite sure, have a look again at the first lecture I did at Advanced Performance Nutrition, as it tries to give context to the energy systems. And that's essentially what we're trying to determine with a lactate threshold assessment, is to what reliance do we have on any given energy system at different exercise intensities. So again, once you get your hands on some actual data, it can make the context of those assessments a little bit more meaningful and a bit more easy to understand. So again, none of you come through with any further questions. Hopefully you get a chance to have a look at the SEN stream changing rooms. 10 million minimum. Obviously it's not, but still. Let me know if you like the scenes and stuff in the chat. They take a bit of effort to put together, but I actually quite like them. I think they're cool. But other than that, thank you very much for tuning in once again, guys. If there's anything you want me to feature in next week's SEN stream or the weeks afterwards, let me know. I'm going to start getting staff members in to do some interviews with regards to assessments as we move through the year, because I think those went down quite well last time, and it just kind of gives the module leaders an opportunity to talk about their assessments more comprehensively. But other than that, thank you very much for watching once again. Feel free to get in touch with me with any suggestions for the stream. But other than that, enjoy the snow if you've got any. Take it easy, and I will see you all on Tuesday next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.
Like a pigeon from hell.